We've all heard that sex and intimacy are not the same thing, but the truth is that many people don't even really know what that means. Even those of us who do know what it means, you'd be surprised how quickly and easily we could try to use sex to get to intimacy, or how we could even mistake sex for being intimacy. In this video, I'm going to talk about this one pitfall that I see so many people making and why it's really important that you don't make this mistake. When you have a strong attraction to someone, what you want to do is get close to them. You want to get as close to them as possible. And the truth is that sex is the easiest way to get close to someone. It's the easiest way and it's the fastest way to get close to someone. But just because it's the easiest and the fastest way doesn't mean that it's the best way. And I'm not saying it's a bad way. I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. But what I'm saying is there are definite pitfalls in using sex as a way to get close to somebody. The way we use sex in a new relationship is often like it's a shortcut. Like it's a shortcut to jump right to where we want to be in the relationship. But the truth is it's really not a shortcut. It's more like a detour because it doesn't really get you anywhere. It's like you take this sexual detour and you go through this loop, but then you've got to start right back where you were to begin with. It doesn't lead to anything substantial. It doesn't lead to anything real. And I was reflecting on a relationship of mine where I felt like I had something special with this person and I felt like there was something that was meant to be between us. And I had all these feelings and all these desires for this relationship to go somewhere. And when I really think about it, the only reason I felt that way was because we had a sexual relationship. You see, I had to realize that it wasn't the same thing to her that it was to me. And that is such an important distinction to recognize, is having sex with someone by itself doesn't equal any level of depth of relationship. It doesn't equal any level of true intimacy. What it does is it usually awakens a stronger attachment. It awakens a stronger desire. That's usually when clinging comes in. That's usually when jealousy comes in, and all these different strong emotions that are wrapped up in your attraction to someone else usually comes after you sleep with them. The thing is, and I'm not saying that you should wait any insane amount of time. I'm not saying you should wait to get married. I'm not saying anything like that. But what I'm saying is you should be relatively certain that this is a step you want to take with someone before you do it. You should have a really solid idea that, you know what, this is somebody that I want some kind of relationship with. This is somebody that I think they want some kind of relationship with me. Because what happens when you dive into it and when you just try to connect with that person on a deep level through sex without really getting an idea of who they are first, is you give them, in many instances, you give them your power. You give them your power and you open yourself up to be manipulated. You open yourself up to have them pull those strings of emotion. And it's often we'll end up doing that in a relationship that is really going nowhere and it's probably never gonna go anywhere. This is one of the many toxic cycles that people get wrapped up in early on in a relationship. And I'm doing presentations coming up in a couple of weeks about these toxic cycles. I'm going to be hosting some presentations where we really dive into what it is that gets people wrapped up into a toxic cycle like this and how to prevent it from happening. Because the thing is, if you can't prevent these toxic cycles from sucking you into them and you getting caught up in them without realizing, what's going to happen is you're going to waste years and years of your life. And ultimately, you might even miss the opportunity to find the love you're looking for. So it's so important to be able to see these kinds of toxic cycles for what they are and be able to prevent yourself from getting caught up in them. I want to invite you to this presentation. Go to myconsciousrelationship.com to register. Registration is free, and I'll see you there.